Raygun's apology video hasn't gone down well at all, and since I leaked the legal threats that she sent to another comedian, those threats have now made headlines across Australia. It's not going well for Raygun. A lot of stuff has happened. I'm going to fill you in, so leave a like, but more importantly, subscribe if you want to be part of more shitstorms like this, because we do it on the regular around here. And it's about to get a whole lot worse, because right before I posted this video, which I filmed yesterday, this headline dropped, which we have to talk about before we get into all of the other stuff that I've discovered. Just when you thought she was done demanding money from the comedy industry, we've got another legal threat. Australian Olympic breakdancer Raygun is demanding $10,000 in legal fees from the owner of a small Sydney comedy club that had planned to stage a show called Raygun the Musical. Oh, by the way, would you like to know how much money the Raygun the Musical trial show made? You would think that it must be millions of dollars. If Raygun is threatening to sue multiple people and spending upwards of $10,000 in legal fees on threatening to sue people, you would think that this musical must have been making hundreds of thousands of dollars. No. Do you know how much money it made? $500. Do you know where that money was going to go? It was going to be donated to a woman's shelter. This small practice run for a parody musical, which is completely legal and protected by parody and satire laws here in Australia, sold 70 tickets and profited $500, all of which was going to go to charity to support a woman's shelter. And Raygun's legal team is coming after the comedian and the comedy club owner, and who knows whoever else, for at least $10,000 because her feelings are hurt. Here's the letter that Raygun's lawyers, 17 Degrees, sent to ID Comedy Club, a place that I have performed at multiple times, and in fact where I am doing my Sydney show next year. So if they go under over these legal threats and legal bills, I won't have anywhere to perform either. So now, this is personal, Raygun. We refer to the recent telephone conversation of the 6th of December 2024, during which you have confirmed the following. You sold 70 tickets to the musical. You have made a profit of $500. No mention of that profit going towards a woman's shelter, a charity, mind you. If your offer during this telephone conversation to compensate our client $500. So Anthony, being the legend he is, not wanting to deal with this trouble, has just offered $500, every single dollar that they made, which was going to go to a woman's shelter, to this woman's legal team, and they are saying no. What do they want? $10,000. You will reimburse our client with legal costs to date, which we estimate to be $10,000. God, Raygun's made some bad decisions, hasn't she, with these lawyers? She spent 10 grand on these lawyers for them to pursue a case that they would absolutely lose in court. This is such a misstep. Our client, Raygun, requires that you agree to the following absolute undertakings. Immediately cancel the proposed Raygun the Musical scheduled to be performed on the 7th of December. Remove all references to our client, including the name Raygun and their likeness, from promotions, advertisings, and cease any further promotion of Raygun the Musical. Provide evidence that you have announced the withdrawal and cancellation of the Raygun the Musical, and this is the best bit. Undertake not to use or in future use our client's intellectual property, which includes the name and trademark Raygun, Raygun pose, images of our client, choreography, or other copyright works, Olympic recordings, story, or history of our client. And we want 10 grand. Don't talk about it. Don't think about it. Don't imagine her. Don't have a dream about her. Don't bring her up in conversations. Don't watch her on TV. Don't think about her when you're responding to this letter. If the idea of a ray gun, even if you're playing Call of Duty Zombies, pops into your brain, we want more money. Up until now, I've been quite jovial. I've been telling a lot of jokes in the previous video. And when this video continues after this bit, I'm going to tell a lot more jokes. But right now, after reading that legal letter and seeing them threaten my friend Anthony Skinner, ID Comedy Club, Steph Broadbridge, I'm so upset. I'm disgusted at Raygun's actions here. She is threatening the entire comedy community in Australia by doing this, okay? Because these are small acts, all right? You cannot set a precedent of threatening comedians and the comedy clubs they perform at with legal action because you don't want to be made fun of. It is pathetic, it is disgusting, and even though you know and your lawyers very well know that you would lose this case, you are throwing your weight around because you know that smaller comedians and clubs can't afford to have a legal battle that they know that they would probably win. So not only are you throwing your weight around, causing an unbelievable amount of stress to comedians and comedy club owners in this country, you're also stopping money being donated to women's shelters, all right? Anthony Skinner made $500 off this show. It was going to go to charity. He was never going to see a dollar of it anyway. And you're saying, no, we want 10 grand, thanks. Here's an idea, Raygun. Why not, instead of threatening my friends with legal action, how about you go down to the women's shelter they were going to donate that $500 to, and you explain why you should have it and $10,000 more instead of the women in need. What a great look that would be. Oh, you know the small comedian that was going to make a show about me? Well, I shut her down. But also, I forced the comedy club that regularly donates to women's shelters into bankruptcy because, I trademarked the kangaroo pose. Pathetic. Skinner said he was furious when he received the bill for $10,000. When they sent that $10,000 letter, I was like, you're fucking joking, he said. I'm thinking about studying law myself now. The average person has no idea about any of this stuff. It seems that they're just sort of using that to their advantage and trying to get people to crumble. I think they think my comedy business is more successful than it is. Yeah, that's pretty obvious. This is just a cash grab. They're trying to take as much money from a business they don't understand as they can. Skinner said if he was forced to pay $10,000, it would come close to sending his business to the wall. He will now wait to see what Gunn's next move might be, but meanwhile, he wanted the issue publicized. Well, here you go, Skinner. Guys, share this video, share the original article, tell people what Raygun and her legal team is trying to do, talk about them denying the $500 offer and instead demanding $10,000 from Anthony. And I tell you what, this is a message to Raygun and her legal team. Do not start legal action against Steph Broadbridge or ID Comedy Club or me or anybody else involved in the Australian comedy scene over this, because I can tell you this, I will personally launch a crowdfund for a legal fund, and every single other online entertainer in this country with an audience will get behind it, and we will raise way more money than you think that we can. We have done this before in Australia. All you need to look at is the legal battle that Friendly Geordies went through, okay? We will not let you intimidate small artists into silencing their God-given right to make fun of famous people. That is wrong, and we won't stand by it. So if you want a legal battle that I know you will lose if it makes it to court, we will give you one. And I think we both know that you don't want that at all. People should know that this sort of bullshit's going on, trying to take 10 grand out of a business whose whole purpose is just to support comedians. And yeah, Anthony is a great guy. He has personally helped me out, especially when I was struggling with my surgery, struggling with money and all this kind of stuff. He has totally been helpful, helped me put on shows, helped put money in my bank account, and I am going to return the favor in any way that I can. He added that any offers of legal assistance would be welcome. If anyone wants to help, that would be great. Legal stuff's not really our forte. We just make people laugh. Well, Anthony, Steph, and you, of course, the dear viewer, if you're worried at all about Raygun maybe winning this case, later in this video, I'm going to break down her legal claim and point out the several different ways that it would absolutely fail in court. And so, with that off my chest, let's return to all of the other things that I uncovered after doing a little bit more research on Raygun and what she's been up to since the Olympics. And I promise you, you're going to find out some wild stuff. So keep watching. Sign the petition to let Steph do her show. And if you want to see me live in 2025, my tour just went on sale. LouSpears.com. I'd love to see you there almost as much as I would like to see you at Steph's show. Also, little editor's note. Sorry, this is a developing situation. I found out the charity that they were raising money for, and I'm leaving that in the description and the top comment. I would love if you could donate if you can, because it seems like maybe they won't get the money that was raised with this show. So let's replace that with hopefully even more money. The last Raygun video was quite serious, so today I thought we'd have some fun and have a look at what Raygun has been up to since the Olympics. And I did some digging and I found the most ironic thing that I could possibly find. So right now we know that Raygun is threatening to sue a comedian for doing dances like her. But also, did you know that at the same time, right now, Raygun is the face of a company that is advertising a dance challenge where people can win money for dancing exactly like Raygun.
I've heard some of you think you can do better than me. Really? Let's find out, shall we?
So at the same time that Raygun's lawyers are telling a comedian that if you do her dance, they will take all of her money, Raygun herself on her own Instagram is saying to everyone, if you do my dance, I will give you money. Talk about mixed messaging.
Just to straight up consolidate, huh?
Every time I watch her dance, I think I could do at least 60% of these moves first go. And if you gave me like 5 days, I could probably do the rest. Except for the head spin. You know, my head's so narrow, if you spun me around on top of it, I would drill down into the center of the earth. This Dance Better Than Raygun challenge was huge, by the way, and Raygun herself is in multiple posts on their Instagram and on her personal one, calling for people across the world to dance like her or better to win money.
Halloween lookalikes. If you're gonna look like me, you've gotta dance like me. If you're gonna look like me, you've gotta dance like me.
That's Raygun directly calling for people who look like her, who are dressed like her, to dance like her. But not only to dance like her, to also pull off her signature trademarked kangaroo pose.
There's 15K up for grabs. I cannot wait to see all those kangaroos.
Am I doing it right? Who gets the 15K? Do I win the 15K or are you going to sue me and you take 15K from me? What are the rules? I'm a bit confused. You're sending mixed messages. Now, you might be thinking, oh no, Raygun doesn't want people to dance exactly like her. She wants people to dance better than her and show off their own unique style as long as they don't rip off her choreography or steal her trademarked pose. Well, let's have a look at the winner of the challenge, shall we?
All right, everyone, the votes are in. And it's official. Your solo Raygun challenge winner is...
God, it's really going to sting Raygun to see that the winner of the competition she's running is so much better than she is. That's, embarrassing. That'd be like me running a massive shit stirrer competition and losing. What is so funny about this woman winning money from Raygun for this dance is that in this dance, she did Raygun's kangaroo pose, right? Now, this was posted about 3 weeks ago. You know what else was happening 3 weeks ago? That's right. Raygun was filing a trademark for the kangaroo pose on the 25th of September, which was the same day that Steph Broadbridge posted this announcing Raygun the musical. So, at the same time that Raygun was giving money to one woman for doing the kangaroo pose, she was planning to send legal threats to another woman for doing the kangaroo pose. This is insane levels of doublespeak. I've never seen anything like it. And apparently, it's not about the money, but clearly it is.
I cannot believe this. Yeah! Oh my god!
This one's special because this one's the Raygun tat on Mr. Max himself.
G'day, I'm Max. I'm a bit of a larrikin.
This is so wild.
It just captures that iconic kangaroo stance, and she's just an Aussie icon now. Love it or hate it.
Put the kangaroo pose on your leg, Raygun loves it.
You're an absolute legend. That is so cool. Let me know if you want me to sign it.
Put the kangaroo pose on a poster, Raygun will send legal threats to cancel your show. Both of them completely legal, but both of them have very different reactions. You know, I just had a thought, if this guy was really a legend, what he would do is he would add another tattoo underneath the kangaroo pose that just says Raygun the musical. Now, that would be a legendary move.
A comedian, Stephanie Broadbridge, came out and revealed that she'd be doing Raygun the musical here at Kinsellas. It had 8 cast members and puppets. It actually sounds like quite an awesome show. However, Raygun's legal team stepped in, cutting it off just before it was about to go ahead.
An 8-person band and puppets? The more I learn about this show, the more upset I am that it got cancelled. This sounds amazing. If anyone made a puppet show about me, I would pay to attend. I mean, I don't know where you would find a puppet long enough to make one look like me, but I would love to see you attempt it.
It was really unfortunate that the show had to be cancelled so close to the launch. I know
the artist would have put a lot of work into it, and that really sucks.
So after my last video, I've been making headlines across all of Australia's greatest and most respected journalistic outlets, like Pedestrian TV. Comedian with allegedly leaked copy of Raygun's legal threat claims she lied in public apology. Now, I did this interview for this article a couple of days ago, and they actually waited days to publish it because they had to run everything that I said in my video past their lawyers, which is a great tip for anyone who can't afford a lawyer and is worried about saying anything defamatory. What you want to do is just say it in an interview, and then their journalists will run it past their lawyers, and if they publish it, you probably haven't defamed anyone, so saved a bit of money there. Although you can tell that their lawyers have really taken a stick to this article because there's a lot of legalese in here that would cover them from any litigious dances that are out there. Comedian Lewis Spears alleged a copy of the letter sent by Raygun's lawyers was leaked to him. It's full of words like alleged and according to Lewis and Spears said. It's really just like, oh, we're not saying any of this stuff. It's all Lewis. Like, this article is basically saying, if we're wrong, please sue Lewis, not us, because we're Pedestrian TV. We cannot afford a lawsuit. Come on, guys. Neither can I. Lewis Spears claimed Raygun lied in an apology video. A key part of Spears' argument involves the timeline around Raygun trademarking her infamous kangaroo move. The trademark on an image of her move was what Raygun's lawyers used to claim Broadbridge's show infringed her intellectual property rights. While the timing could have been a coincidence, according to Spears, it is unlikely the trademark application on the kangaroo image actually dated back to the same day. Broadbridge announced the show September 25. That paragraph doesn't make any sense. According to Spears, it is unlikely the trademark application on the kangaroo image actually dated back to the same day Broadbridge announced the show. That doesn't make any sense. Whichever lawyer rewrote this part of the article, they left a lot of typos in. Who the fuck is Spears? Actually, maybe that lawyer's doing me a favor. You know, if Raygun takes me to court, I can be like, Your Honor, I didn't make that video. That wasn't me. Obviously, that was Spears, a different comedian and not me. Anyway, the article goes on to say that the petition I made to let Steph perform has almost 1,000 signatures, and let's check what it is at now. 1,400 signatures? That's amazing. Thank you so much. Sign it if you want Steph to be able to perform Raygun the musical, and when tickets go on sale, which I'm sure they will, it'll notify you where to get them. I was told also that they reached out to Raygun for comment for this article, but she didn't respond. Unlike me, I'm always down for an interview. After all, I've got tickets to sell. 2025 shows are on sale right now. There's the dates. Get your tickets. LouSpears.com. It's important for comedians to stand up for each other. We don't want to let people think that they can use lawyers to shut down jokes they don't like. Also, Raygun, if you're reading this, I will be dancing like a kangaroo at every single one of my shows next year. That's right, LouSpears.com. Get your tickets. If there's one thing I've gotten exceedingly good at, it's turning every single article written about me into a plug for my shows. But moving on temporarily from Raygun's hypocrisy, a few other things have happened in the news since her legal threats and me leaking those to the public. Actual lawyers have been chiming in with their opinion on Raygun's case, and it turns out she very likely doesn't have one at all. This is a great article, I'll link to it below, but it's basically them having a look at copyright law specifically in Australia and our brilliant parody and satire protection laws, which are some of the only ones in the world. The law is clear. Gunn is unlikely to be able to enforce intellectual property right over her name, her persona, and her dance moves, and there are exceptions and rights for Australians to parody without it being infringement. I mean, we could just stop reading there. That paragraph alone is enough to eviscerate her own legal team. But like a lot of people in my comment section have been asking, hang on a minute, doesn't Raygun own her name? If she's trademarked it and it is her name and it's her copyright, doesn't she have the right to get other people to take it off their poster? Well, no, she doesn't. In Australia, it is generally accepted that you cannot copyright short titles, slogans, single words, and names. This means even invented names like Exxon cannot be protected by copyright, but it can be a trademark for the oil and gas giant. While Raygun is a clever play on words, it does not qualify for copyright protection. Using it in the title of a production like Raygun the Musical is not copyright infringement. However, what about her kangaroo pose silhouette and the photo of her that is essentially a logo logo. That's what she's filed for trademark. Surely she has a case with those. Not when it comes to parodies and live shows. Under the Trademarks Act, Gunn could enforce her rights against people also using Raygun or similar as a trademark in relation to their own entertainment or clothing businesses. For example, if they were selling clothing or using the mark as the brand of a movie company, but not a parody or a show poster. However, if you weren't using that for your own logo and were instead using it for, I don't know, some kind of parody poster for an upcoming tour in 2025, Raygun's legal team couldn't do anything about this because this is a parody of her logo. You might also be thinking, well, hang on, what about her persona, like the Raygun character, the persona she puts forth, the costume, the name, the dance moves? What about everything about her? Surely you can't just do that without their permission. Well, if it's a parody, you most certainly can. In Australia, there is no right of publicity, meaning a person's likeness and name are open for others to use. In the statement from Gunn's legal team and management, they said the use of the name Raygun by a comedian without approval has caused confusion among the public. No, it hasn't. Not a single person saw that and was like, oh, wow, I guess Raygun can sing and she's going to star in a musical. No, obviously it's a parody. We have a rich history of creating parodies for cultural icons in Australia, one of which you could have been, Raygun, but unfortunately you blew it because you got a bad attitude. No one thought this was actually you. As parodies involve mockery, it would be difficult to establish the legal standard that the public were confused that she endorsed the musical. That's a great little bit of snark here. Obviously she's mocking you, so no one would be confused. You're going to lose that lawsuit. And finally, what about her choreography? Now, this is the strongest part of Raygun's claim because, yes, you can own choreography. It's very difficult to sue someone for it, though, because they would have to do your moves in exact order as a dramatic work that they were charging for as well, or trying to palm off as their own, right? But you could sue for that unless the person doing your exact choreography exactly the way that you did it without changing it very much at all was doing it as a parody, which again is protected under Australian law. There's no case. You got no case. Broadbridge was allegedly told she could not do the kangaroo dance. For infringement to be proven, the musical would need to replicate Gunn's exact choreography or a substantial part of it. Even then, the fair dealing defense for parody or satire could apply if the use was fair and for parody. The defense would likely succeed as it involves imitating an earlier work with humor or mockery, both protected by law. You should check out the full article. It's a great read. I'll link to it below. But essentially, yeah, she has no case, and any lawyer who knows anything about copyright law, satire, and parody can look at this and instantly be like, oh yeah, you would lose 100% if this went to court. However, for it to go to court, the person you're suing kind of needs to shell out money for a lawyer. And if they don't have that, you win by default. And that is bullying. And bullying sucks.
Since going viral at the Olympics for her unique breakdancing routine, Rachel Gunn has been on a carefully crafted PR run.
And getting used to this whole new world, this whole new reality.
Jumping in front of cameras for numerous media appearances.
What is going on? What is my life right now?
Oh my God, she's annoying, isn't she? She just seems like such a Karen. Like every time I listen to her speak for more than 40 seconds, I'm like, oh my God. I feel like the whole country really, really wants to like her, and then she just talks, and we go, oh, no, thank you.
What is going on? What is my life right now?
What is my life right now? What are you, a Disney Star Wars character?
They fly now? They fly now!
In a statement, Raygun's management said they were committed to protecting her intellectual property and ensuring that her brand remains strong and respected.
Well, after that statement from her management, let's do a little review, shall we? Her intellectual property has not been protected. The show is going to go ahead, and it's going to be much bigger than it was before. Her brand has not been protected because while it was kind of recovering from the Olympics, now the whole country has turned on her, and it certainly isn't being respected because she is disrespecting other performers trying to do their art.
Despite the setbacks, Steph hasn't given up on one day performing the show.
I wrote every song imagining her sitting in the front row watching it.
Does that offer still count for her to come to the show?
Of course, yes. I wanted to see it more now.
This is such a fumble by Raygun and her management team that it's almost unfathomable. Could you imagine how much the country would have responded positively and with love to like a photo of the two of them Raygun showing up to the premiere with a big bouquet of flowers. That would have been hilarious and such a cool move from her. That just would have made every one of us love her. But to respond the way that she has, it just sucks. Now, you might want to give Raygun the benefit of the doubt here and say, oh, well, maybe she is only okay with people doing her dance with her approval, but she wouldn't be okay if you dressed up like her and did her dance without her approval outside of a competition that she is a part of. Well, no, because here's what she thought about everyone dressing up as her and doing her dance to make fun of her on Halloween.
It was surreal. I just really loved that whenever people put on the Raygun outfit, they would do some kind of dancing. So that was really, really cool to see that I was getting people to dance. Like, that is just awesome.
I could pull up dozens of these clips, by the way, of Raygun saying on multiple platforms, multiple different days, in multiple different scenarios, essentially going, I love it when people dress up like me and do my dance moves, but then going away and suing a comedian for doing it, while also saying, oh no, I'm okay with being laughed at. It's so clear that that is not true, because everyone except for comedians apparently can do this dance while dressed as you.
It doesn't surprise me that people tried the moves and it was harder than they expected. My moves are harder than people think, and it takes a lot of training to make them look easy. So that's part of the skill.
Do I have to say anything? Oh God, you got to stop. You got to stop talking about how good you are, Raygun. It doesn't make you look good.
You know, it's nice that some of that's getting out there now.
I don't know if this story is going to keep on developing. I mean, I, for one, have been refreshing my email inbox, waiting for a cease and desist. But I guess I'll keep you guys updated. For now, though, if you're not from Australia, I can promise you the entire country, even journalists themselves, have just been laughing at this entire situation because it is ridiculous.
I tell you what the issue is, though, Sally, it's trademark. And if you do this pose, I think that's the pose, or if you say her or have her name, sell her name, there will be an issue with trademark.
Just one. Just give it a quick. I'll do it. You know I'll do it. I've got no problem doing it. But I just want to say, oh yeah, get it, get down, Sam.
That's one
Strong.
for the show reel. Tick.
Should I go to the Olympics? Should I go to the Olympics?
You just know that after doing those dance moves on Australian morning TV, Sam's DMs were absolutely full to the brim of divorced 50-year-old pussy. Anyway, come see me on tour. I'll be pulling off some of these sick-ass moves. Loosebeers.com 2025. I'm going to Perth in January, then a bunch of other places. The UK is coming up as well. Loosebeers.com. If you want to know when I'm coming to your city, put your email in loosebeers.com and I'll send you a message when I'm on the way. Like, subscribe, and we'll see what happens next.